Indeed, everyone, it has been revealed. Josh Seiter, who was the obnoxious individual on Instagram claiming to be trans. I say obnoxious because the videos were quite obnoxious. It is now proven, as he has revealed himself on Alex Stein's show, it was a social experiment to expose how gullible and delusional the left is. Now, I must confess to all of you, I knew this, and Josh didn't explicitly tell us right away. So here's what happens. Well, let me give you some backstory on this first, for those that don't know who this guy is. He's the former Bachelorette star. His name is Josh Seiter. He's an actor. He's been on other TV shows. And one day he comes out and says that he's trans. And he makes all of these videos. Let me show you one of the videos. Okay, I can't hear what he's saying with that music going. Here we go.
Hey everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm really struggling right now. Oh, you guys know that I'm attracted to women, and that's usually who I date. And what I didn't expect with this transition is now that I'm a woman, that means I'm gay. And I'm a lesbian. This is not what I...
Okay, so now you get it. I think many of you knew who he was. And then what did he say, Terrence?
Hey, everyone.
I'm not gay. So let me play the reveal for you. New York Post has a clip from Alex Stein's show.
You want to know what's going on?
Yes.
Well, I got to be honest. For the last 5 months, I've been conducting a social experiment online to expose how gullible and how delusional the left is.
I like this spattered clapping.
We love it, Josh. And now I'm so happy that you came on this program and you're so gracious to fly all the way here from Chicago to come speak with us and talk about how insane the world is that you putting on a woman face, I guess is that the best way to describe it?
All right. Josh Seiter has a ton of these videos that were getting a ton of attention, where he followed all the rules of gender ideology, and still the left attacked him. They didn't like him, but many were kind of trying not to step over the line because according to the rules, what can you say, right? So we had Josh Seiter on Timcast IRL twice now. And I'm sorry, I believe he was on the Culture War and then Timcast IRL. So not IRL twice. And we had this conversation with him about, we all kind of knew that he was faking it. But I did know the reveal was coming because we actually have a crew. I say crew, but we have a filmer and some production going on right now to document what this was. And I actually thought Josh was going to come on this show on Culture War to actually do the reveal, but he didn't. He maintained it. But we learned a lot of real interesting things from the experiment, and I think it was masterfully done. Josh puts on a dress. He goes to these supermarkets and he plays this game. He showed up to an event where he had a sign saying trans for Palestine or something to that effect, and he got threatened with violence. But why? Why, if this guy says he wants to be trans, he didn't do anything wrong? He never disparaged anybody. He never insulted anybody. He literally just played by the exact rules. Now, a lot of people assumed this was some kind of hoax because he's got a 5 o'clock shadow. He's just some guy. He's a regular built, hairy dude wearing a dress. But here's the thing. The rules have always stated that as the left prescribes, if you are trans, your social norms do not dictate gender. The left has argued women can have beards. And there are some women who actually have facial hair. You know, women have some facial hair, but some actually grow like masculine beards. And because of all of this, they have created a set of gender ideological rules that are contradictory, paradoxical. Josh Seiter exploited those, exposing these people for who they were. Many people were praising him when he said things that made no sense. Others were attacking him for doing exactly what they said he should be doing. And now it has all been revealed. Former Bachelorette contestant Josh Seiter pretended to be trans for 5 months. Pretended. You know what they're going to say now? They're going to come out and they're going to go, he wasn't pretending. He was experimenting with transhood because you're always allowed to do it. They're going to say it's not an experiment. Or they're going to say it was an experiment. It was him experimenting with what it was like to be trans. Because gender is ill-defined. And if you say it, it is true. That's the defense they're probably going to have. Or they're going to call him a fascist or far right or something. They say Seiter originally came out as transgender in May of 24 and was greeted with a slew of death threats after he claimed that he claimed made him fear for his safety all the time. He notably claimed throughout the apparent faux journey that he believed people did not need to take anything to be a trans woman, including hormones or elective surgeries. He also said he was gay. Then he was not gay. Now, the last 5 months of his life have apparently been a ruse to highlight how gullible and delusional the left is, he said on Prime Time with Alex Stein. I think a lot of trans women are turned on at the thought of themselves being women. Guess what? It doesn't magically make them women, Seiter said. We live in a free country. You can do whatever you want, but you don't make your fetish my truth. I don't have to accept it. He said later this year, when he first started his so-called social experiment, that he was met with intolerance, bigotry, and gatekeeping from all sides, including trans people and members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Wow, that's a mouthful, huh? He started the interview with a full face of makeup and wearing a scarf with the colors of the trans flag. He had one of the staff working on the show come and wipe his makeup off, then unveiled his hoax to the camera. I faked being a faker. I pretended to be a pretender, Seiter said. Now, I will let you in on some secret behind-the-scenes information. We were hanging out with Josh after the Culture War because when the Culture War Friday morning show ends, we usually order food. Maybe we'll get sushi, pizza, wings, something like this. And so Josh is hanging out. He's got makeup on and earrings, and he pops the clip-on earrings off. I think they were clip-ons. I don't know if he actually got his ears pierced. And then he was still maintaining the facade, and then he just said something about being a guy from Chicago and then someone was like, guy? And he was like, I mean woman. And we were like, dude, we know what you're doing. And the best part was, I'm telling him your secret, Josh. He goes, is there anything you have to wipe off makeup with? And he he found a rag and he was like, can I use this? And we were like, yeah, of course. And then instantly Taylor Silverman, she was like, okay, now I know for a fact he's not a woman because you're not wiping makeup off with a rag. And we all kind of knew. And so Josh did end up telling us that he was going to go on Alex Stein and do this reveal. So we sent a cameraman to document the full process and give his story. And so we'll have a short produced, basically breaking down the bigger picture with a longer interview from Josh about what this is all about. But I think we saw this on the Culture War in that when he would try to play by the rules as they demand, they threaten him. There was a story where two females pretend to be trans and they make OnlyFans content where they stuffed their underwear and then called themselves boys. And it works really well for them. They made a lot of money. Trans people started attacking them saying, my gender is not your, costume or whatever. And it was like, everybody was just like, are they completely unaware of the hypocrisy here? Well, of course, apparently that was the case. They were completely unaware or they just don't care. I said this in a previous segment, and I'll say it again. I believe the woke left is an ant death spiral. They're spinning around each other in just until the ideology is going to starve itself out and will cease to exist. This paradoxical and contradictory ideology cannot persist because in order to survive, there has to be a logic to sustain itself, right? Like everything in nature, without maintenance, it falls apart. But if the ideology is simply, I say it, therefore it's true, eventually you run into Josh Seiter. They have claimed gender identity is self-expression. Women can have beards, men can wear dresses, women can wear pants, women can wear dresses, men can wear dresses, men can have, whatever you want. They ran this video a long time ago. I can't remember which outlet ran it. It was a man in a dress with a beard, and he says, I'm trans and I'm a woman, and I have a beard because I'm defying gender stereotypes. And they clapped for it, and they said, yay. Josh Seiter does the same thing, and they say, no, you're a faker and you're lying. But how? Why? Well, he had a bunch of funny videos where he was like, I think the man should pay. And so I slid the bill to the man on the date, and then I said, I think the man should pay. So he slid it back and then said, you should pay. And I said, that's rude. And so with those things, people were like, is this guy faking it or is this real? Well, my friends, the reveal is out. Primetime Alex Stein did the interview, and we're going to have an update with Josh, probably have him back on and have him join us on Timcast IRL a couple times more. Just whenever he's available. He's a smart guy. He says he leans more libertarian. He's not really right or left or anything, but he saw the hypocrisy, and I think it'll be really interesting to see a bigger breakdown. So I'll wrap that up there. Just a quick update for you. I know everybody said, come on, Tim, tell us the story, talk about it. Okay, well, there's some inside information. Next segment's coming up in a couple minutes. Thanks for hanging out. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Share the show with everyone you know, and we'll see you all then.